Hello and welcome to our channel. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Stephanie.
And together we clean homes for free.
Today's video is another kind of full house clean. We do one bedroom, one kitchen, one living room, the hallway, the downstairs area, and the
foyer.
stairs. Yeah, foyer.
The foyer.
Entryway, hallway, whatever you want to call it. We don't do the main bedroom and we don't do the bathroom because we don't have time. This was a cancellation. Was this a cancellation clean?
So the person we were meant to go to
was in hospital. That was it.
and we couldn't get access.
Couldn't remember why.
We, at the last moment, booked this one in.
Every time I'm taking the before or after photos and Danielle's kind of in the way, I'm like, do you want to pose? It's always the exact same pose. The manic grin that looks like she's being forced to be there and the thumbs up.
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits.
So at the time of this clean, I actually had a really bad shoulder. So I was not feeling it. You carried us on this one, I think.
You still have a bad shoulder.
Yeah, but I'm just giving context for the actual clean. My shoulder's actually not as bad, but it was still pretty bad on this day. I mean, it's still kind of bad now, but it's not as bad. Oh, there we go. The phone notification, guys. Now I will
Not
mute my
even
phone.
2 minutes in.
Well, now you've had it, so I can mute it. That's your phone fix for the week. Yeah, so I was trying to figure. She had food and like random stuff on the bunkers. I was like, where am I putting it? And I noticed like her very top shelf was empty. So I had to go and check, is that empty because you can't reach and you're keeping everything well, the first thing I checked was, are you keeping these things on the bunker so they're at surface level? Or can they get put away? And then I checked, okay, and when I'm putting them away, are those top shelves empty for a reason? Like, can you not reach? So then I knew not to put stuff on there. And they were like, in that corner is like a coffee machine and a blending machine. So I was like going through like, okay, do you use these? Because they didn't look like they'd been used in a while. So are you keeping them? Do you want them put in somewhere else? And so they managed to get put away. And then you can't see yet because it's in the other section in the kitchen, but she has 2 air fryers. So again, I was like, I felt like such a pest, by the way. So again, I was like, okay, you have 2 of these. Because sometimes you find that they have 2 because one's broken. So I'm like, do they both work? Are you using both? And it was a yes to both of them.
So she used both. Is it because one, they're like too small to fit everything in?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Because it is just, so we haven't really told you the story of this woman yet, but we're only 2 minutes in. But yeah, it's just one woman that lives here, but I think she has family over regularly. So I think that's why she uses 2. So maybe when it's just her, she uses 1. And then when she's got family
I have a dual air fryer and I still think it's too small.
I do think they're quite small, but I only ever use my air fryer for bacon because I don't really like using a frying pan. Okay,
so I cook, like bacon. I thought you meant like baking a cake. I was like, what?
You can do that as well, but no, I meant like actual like the meat bacon. I don't even like bacon, so I only make it for like Madison and stuff, and it's something she can cook herself in the air fryer. Anyway, so I only use it for bacon and for fish because it cooks salmon like perfectly, and fajitas. That's basically all I use the air fryer for.
And I've never even thought about using the air fryer for any of those 3 things.
What do you use your air fryer for?
Chicken nuggets and chips when I can't be bothered cooking for the kids.
I mean, that's a standard staple in my house, like literally every other day, because my boys are just beige food eaters.
Yeah, so when I make stuff, like I'll give it to Jacob, and I'll let him I'll try and encourage him to eat it, and like everybody else will be kind of eating it, but eventually 9 times out of 10 I have to go and chuck some chicken nuggets in the air fryer.
Yeah, so I used to do that, but it got to it because Kai used to be quite a good eater, and it got to a point where I was doing that, but Arthur's such a strong adverse reaction to it that it basically changed Kai's whole diet because he just started copying, and so now I'm not risking that happening to Lily as well. Like, okay, 2 children are ruined.
I'm gonna say excuse me just now, guys, but I'm gonna open a tin of juice, so you will
ASMR.
hear it.
I quite like the sound of when people open juice. Not like not the drinking part though, but
yeah.
It
stings. I've got a cut on my lip as well.
Yeah, Danielle did half the living room in the time it took me to do this one section of the kitchen. And you came in and you were like, oh, how's it going? I was like, I mean, it's going, but very, very slow progress.
I think that there were different kind of cleans though. Like mine was more like organising than actually like intricate cleaning,
Yeah.
wiping stuff down and stuff. But
She had so many knickknacks.
yeah, so many wee ornaments.
And do you know what, right? See, before you even ask me what's my least favourite part of this clean, I'm actually just going to go in and say it's the edit in the video. You know how many photographs I'm going to have to blur out?
Yeah.
So many.
I do. So I'm looking at it thinking, is it even worth recording this bit? Because it's going to be such a struggle to edit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had that thought. Thinking of me. I haven't blurred them out yet at the time that we're doing this voiceover. So if you see them and you freeze and you're like, oh,
you've not done that.
Yeah, it's because I've not done it yet, but I'm gonna.
So that is your least favourite.
Yeah.
What's your most favourite?
Listening to Coronation Street. The woman was, I don't even know if it was Coronation Street or if it was EastEnders, because I've not watched
by
them
the way,
in
I think it
years.
was EastEnders, because I'm pretty sure I heard the theme tune at one point and it said dun 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 dun.
But I think
dun.
she was watching like old episodes because Stacey was in it and she was young. And so that was when I used to watch it, was when Stacey was young.
But did she not come back into it though?
I think she stayed in it for, I mean, she might still be in it. I don't know. I've not watched it in like 12 years.
Because I know what was her mum's name? Kat Slater?
No.
She came back into it.
No, that was Zoe's mum.
Oh, right, okay.
They were related though. She was the
cousin. They were cousins.
Yeah. Because her mum had bipolar, I think.
Yeah. She was with the short hair. What was her name again?
Jean,
yeah. Right.
Do you know the only reason
EastEnders? But is it EastEnders? Is it just this country that gets EastEnders?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it might be because it's filmed in like London.
Oh, sorry, everyone else. You are missing out. If you've not seen it, go on YouTube and watch EastEnders.
It's like a soap drama, and it's been running for
like 70 years. Or so. I mean, that could be a total lie. It's been a long time. But yeah, and I was just cleaning, listening to that, thinking, how is she getting all these old episodes? It probably was on YouTube, eh?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I don't actually think I have a favourite clean. And do you know what? I'm changing my answer. My least favourite part was this wall. I don't think you can tell on the camera, but it's wallpapered wall. And I managed to get like a layer of grease off. I don't even think I'm at the wall yet. When I get to this wall, I managed to get a layer of the grease off, but there's like speckles of like fat all over the wall that I can't get off without taking the actual wallpaper off. But she said it's fine because I think her son or her grandson. Was it grandson? Is going to be redoing that back wall. And I says you should try and get him to put some backsplash up.
Oh, is it her son?
It might be her son. And then she said he works
No, it is her son
sort of...
because then he has a child and that's her grand.
I don't know. I think there's multiple.
But there was, yes. She went through...
She has a lot of family.
A lot of the photos in the living room with me and I'm like, okay, yeah. And I've forgotten who everybody is now.
We don't have the mental capacity to remember all that information.
I don't have the mental capacity to remember people's names for cleans. I'm like, what house was that?
Yep, and I'm always like, I have to think of something that was unique to that house. Like, we were in a house recently and we were talking about the best way to clean, because anytime we were cleaning there was just hair sticking to everything. She was like, we'll need to ask the viewers the best thing for that. And I was like, you already told them the best thing for that in this like such and such house. She was like, what house? And I was like, okay, the one that we did in an evening that we swore we were never going to do a house in an evening again. She was like, oh yeah, that house. But if anybody does have any tips for cleaning when there is so much hair, and I'm not talking about floors, I'm talking about, everything.
Yeah, it's like on everything you're cleaning, and when you're wiping it with a wet cloth, there's still more hair appearing and it's getting stuck because you've just made it all wet because you've wiped it.
And the thing that Danielle did recommend at the time was, it was some sort of minky, is that the name of it? Minky? Like the sponge. And it's like,
so it was like a microfiber sponge, but on one side it was like rubbery, and on the other side it was like scoury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one solution. If we could even remember what sponge that was. We do still
I
have
do
it, I think.
remember what it is, and I know we can get them out of B&M's.
Okay, perfect. But if anyone has any other suggestions, because obviously for fabric things we can use lint rollers. That's the best thing I've found. But do you know what I really struggled with? Because of my sore shoulder, I did not realise how much I actually clean with my left hand. So I was trying, every time I went to clean with my left hand, I was like, ow, okay, moving on. And so then I have to try with my right. But depending on my positioning, it's really difficult. So like that top right of the oven, like the cupboard bit, that was really quite sore to clean with my right hand because of the way I had to twist. It was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So yeah, not a lot of positives for me in this house. What was your favourite bit? I don't know why you always have to think so hard, because we do this every week.
Because I have to like go through, like I visualise what I cleaned and I go through it. Like,
but you can do that leading up to doing the voiceover. So you're just like,
just never
boom,
think about
ready
it.
for it.
My brain's all filled with...
You started this bloody tradition.
I know. Yeah. It was probably when I got to finish doing everything and do the floors, and then just looking at it all complete was probably my favourite part.
You're such a cop-out. You say this every week.
Well, that is the best part of doing this.
I know, but you have to be original.
Right, okay.
That's the rule. In fact, I'm sure I made that rule the last time
My
you said
favourite
that.
part was taking all the stuff off the shelves and trying to remember where to put it back on, and sometimes maybe changing it slightly so it looked a bit better.
When you started that there, I wasn't sure if you were being sarcastic.
No, I'm actually
Okay.
Yeah. My least favourite part, I already know this one because I still feel bad about it. I broke one of her ornaments. She said it wasn't expensive, but I still feel bad because it had a matching one on the other side, so it wasn't symmetrical anymore.
Oh, no.
And that felt worse for me. I was like, no.
And it's very rare that we do actually break something. I think that's only maybe the third time now.
Third time,
you've done
because
it
it happened to
again.
me twice in 1 week, basically.
Yeah. But we obviously are insured, and we do offer to pay for the things that are broken. But I mean, fortunately for us,
Most of the time they're like, I'm just so grateful you're doing this. And I'm like, but I don't feel good about it now. I broke something.
Yeah. Now we owe her one.
Yeah.
But
I've had a wee bit of bad luck lately.
I think that was me. Oh, Arthur, I'm doing a voiceover just now.
Oh, sorry, I was just wondering if I get to 9:30 because it's all Friday.
Yeah, you can. Right, okay. Do you know, most people you say, I'm doing this just now, and then they would say, okay, I'll come back. See, my children, they just keep talking.
I think it's a child thing.
Yeah, because I was on the phone to somebody. I can't even remember, during the week.
It was me.
Was it you?
Yeah. Because I know what you're about to say.
And it was Kai came through, and I was like, and he tried to tell me something. I'm like, Kai, I'm on the phone, I'll speak to you in a minute. And I had to say that about 6 times. And in the end, I was just like, Kai, I am on the phone.
You're like, why is it when you say to your kids you're on the phone, they still keep trying to talk to you? I'm like, yeah.
And you know, he was having a little bit of a meltdown. In fact, no, it wasn't you. I mean,
I don't know whether that happened again.
Yeah.
It's been more than once this week.
Yeah. No, do you know, right, okay, so I don't know if anybody else follows Charlene from Charlene and Clean, but I was on a video call with her, and Kai came through. No, Arthur, you've been told we're on. No, you can ask me in 45 minutes. Go.
I can, so I can stay up.
Yes, just go.
I can stay up all.
Okay, guys, I did have to pause it there because he did not go. It was a whole thing, which just proves my point exactly. And I'm not even going to continue that conversation thread because it just annoys me so much. If anybody can relate, leave a comment below. Oh, okay. Your new topic of conversation you pick. It's random.
so
First
much
thing that
pressure.
comes to your head when I say
Cats.
that.
I don't know.
I don't even know what to talk about with cats. Look, you say cats, and the first thing that comes to my head is, we are Siamese, if you please. That's like all I think about when people say cats. I'm like, immediately hairless cats, like from
Aristocats.
yeah. No,
No, it's from
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp. Yeah.
I'm disappointed that you got that wrong and that I
I
agreed
was
with
so
you.
close.
Have you ever played that game though, when somebody's like, you throw out a word and then the next person just has to like throw out
Yeah.
the first thing that comes to
So
their
like
mind?
gloves, hands, feet.
So you said gloves, hands, and I was like gloves, hats.
All right. Okay. So,
So yeah,
it shows.
it's quite a fun game. Oh shoot! Wait, I need to stop.
Right, then he says, let's get going. Then asked Jimmy McCoy, what do you think was the best way to go over the Forth Road Bridge to Cadham Bridge? But Jimmy just shrugged his shoulders. I tells Billy, it's all one what way you go. And I was thinking, oh no, didn't he tell us Billy he doesn't even ken the way to Glasgow?
You read better in Scottish than you do in English.
I was just thinking that. It's more natural.
You need to show them the book cover as well.
Do you know what I did it on that one?
Alright.
Your trip to the football.
I panicked that I was about to talk over that section because we were so distracted. But yeah, we left that original audio in because Danielle found that Scottish book and came and read it to me.
And it was all written in Scottish, which made it a little bit difficult to read, but I actually read it better than if I was to read a normal book out loud.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And as I said, it must come more natural.
Yep. Do you know, when I was in year 7, so how old would I have been? I'm going to say 11 because I was 11 for everything, but I genuinely think I was actually 11 in this story.
Okay.
We had an assignment at school, and I was living in England at the time. We had an assignment at school and we had to write a passage from a story in a different dialect, right? Now, obviously, dialect means accent.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote it in a Scottish accent. I wrote, like, basically what you just read. You know, she marked it wrong and says I said a different accent, not a different language, because she couldn't read it. I was raging. Just because she couldn't read it. She was, like, thinking I'd written in a different language. All I did was write phonetically because I didn't know how to write in Scottish. I was so angry. I was like, I did good work. I always get really, like, irrationally mad when I get negative feedback. Even though it's like that kind of feedback, that's not constructive.
No, because it's just telling you you're wrong.
Yeah. Like, I like constructive feedback. And
even if you did write it in a different language, you do not go, well done for writing it in a different language, but that's not actually what the task was.
Well,
because if you're 11-year-old and you're writing something in a different language, that's impressive. It's
only probably impressive here because we're all idiots that can't speak multi-languages like the rest of the world. Yeah. Like so many people can speak, like, they're multilingual.
We're just arrogant because English is quite a universal language, so we don't really need to learn.
I would love to
go to a lot of different countries. I wouldn't. I'm dyslexic. They took me out of French in high school because I just could not.
I just think they don't teach it well. Like, I studied French for 8 years in school, and I still can't speak French. And do you know why? Because my version of studying French in school was memorising what I had to say. I didn't learn it. I memorised it. And now that my memory's shot, I don't remember any of it.
Well, they took me out, and instead of having a language, I got to choose, like, 2 social subjects. So I did, like, modern studies and geography, rather than getting a 1 social subject and having to do languages as well.
I was just about to say, why did you get taken out of 1 and then replaced with 2? But no, that makes sense if you were already doing 1. Mm. See, I think, like, that's good, though, that they adapted for you to do that.
Yeah, they basically were like, we know you're not going to pass this. You're basically failed the last 2 years.
I mean, that's a bit of a shot to your self-esteem.
Well, no, because I was like, thank God, because I hated it. I hated English. Just with being dyslexic, I found school really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So put me in something else, and they put me. So I was already doing geography, which I loved geography, but I didn't get a really good mark at. And they put me into modern studies. I hated modern studies, but that was the best mark I got out of all my exams.
That's mental, eh?
I know. So I was really good at it, but I hated it. I was semi-good at geography, but I loved geography. I loved learning about the rivers meandering and the erosion of the banks.
The only thing that I remember from my geography class is we were learning about agriculture. So we got to set up a production line of making origami pigs and see who could make the most. And obviously I'm competitive and productive, and I say we had to set up a production line. We didn't. We had to work in groups to make as many pigs as possible, and I set up a production line, so obviously my team won because like it would
Do you
work.
still know how to make an origami pig?
No.
Oh. I was going to be like, you need to teach me that.
But we could do a quick like YouTube Google and figure it out, because it's not that difficult to make an origami pig. But yeah,
I think just making origami would be very therapeutic.
we could do it on a live.
Folding paper and stuff, yeah. We could teach viewers how to make...
They could teach us.
Yeah.
Like, you're folding that wrong. I think I speed the dishes up to like 10 times. I think you were so sick of the living room. You were like, do you want me to come and wash the dishes?
Yeah.
It must have been bad.
It wasn't even that bad. I think I was just getting bored. I think because it was just a regular clean for me, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think it was that.
This is the ones you
Just
like,
a general...
though.
Yeah, but I got a wee bit bored.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be walking into a lot worse.
To be fair, this is my least favourite type of clean. And I think I've said this before. It's just because it is boring. Well, it's not so much that it's boring. There isn't as much of a transformation. And a lot of the times my house is messier and dirty. And I'm like, I could just be at home doing my house right now. And instead I'm doing this house. But don't get me wrong, like, it helps the people.
We made a difference for the women, so...
We should probably tell you her story at this point. That would be a good transitioning into her story.
That was the new topic. That's what I should have picked.
Yeah, instead of cats. Do you know, we didn't even discuss cats either. Right, okay. Today I'm reading from my phone because we're recording this on the work phone.
Do you want me to hold the work phone?
Yeah, that might be helpful. Yeah. My wrist is like being sitting
I
in an awkward
It
angle.
was bending funnily.
Do you know
Funnily.
My hands are not doing great today. Like, can you hear this?
Oh.
Oh, wait there. I wonder if I can get them to hear it. That's my fingers cracking, guys. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Okay. So, was it her that so we were... Okay, let me just get my words.
Now, aren't you?
Yeah, I have my words. I just need to find them. The person that contacted us on this lady's behalf oh no, I'm getting mixed up. Right, give me a minute. Talk about something while I figure out who it was that referred her to us.
Okay, so cats are feline creatures.
Okay, I've remembered.
Good, because I don't know what else to say.
I was mixing this lady up with the other house that we did this week. Okay, we were referred to this person by an occupational therapist a couple of months ago. And then, like, she was already on our list, but then we received a second referral for this person from her mum recently. And so we had this cancellation space. We'd obviously already received 2 referrals, and then we found out a bit more information, and we were like, okay, we can fit her in this cancellation space. I did contact several people, but hardly anybody is able to fit us in last minute, which is crazy. Okay, so her story is she was in hospital in, I want to say February.
I want to say January.
Mm-hmm. She was in hospital in January. Can't remember the reason. She has a lot of health issues, and I'm going to read out the message with them listed in a minute. But prior to going into hospital, she had carers coming in, which is why at the beginning of this video, when you've seen me cleaning that bunker, there was like a folder and gloves and PPE. That's for when the carers were coming in. When she went into hospital, because she was in there for
8 days.
8 days.
And the cut-off is 7 days.
They cancelled her carers.
Yeah.
And they've still not been reinstated 3 months later. More than 3 months
More
later.
than 3 months.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, I think I'm titling the thumbnail of this video, they cancelled her carers. That is why. Which is ridiculous because, 8 days in hospital, they cancel her carers. Like, they could have just, so many people, they could have sent those carers to somebody else. So.
And the fact it's taken them this long to reinstate them when she clearly needs them. She had them before. It's not like she's got any better, so she doesn't need them anymore.
If anything, she's gotten worse. That's why she was in the hospital.
I think it's ridiculous, to be honest. And she's saying that it was being sent to one person, having to go to the bigger boss, and having to go here, there, and I feel like she's probably just getting shifted from pillar to post at this point.
Mm-hmm. So she messaged us the day after we went to this clean, saying, "Thank you again for yesterday. It feels so good to walk into the rooms and they are tidy. The two of you are amazing and have no idea how much it means to me what you've done yesterday. Thank you. And so I had said, because we forgot to ask, you know, when we were there, what would you like to share? Is there anything you would like to share for us to see in the video? Because we do, anything we tell you guys, we tell you with permission. And so this is the message that she sent. And I'm just going to read it exactly how she sent it, by the way. So, I'm disabled and have mobility issues due to fibromyalgia and degenerative disc disease and bulging discs. Sorry, I'm not laughing at her, I'm laughing at me trying to say that word. I also have COPD and angina and quite a few other health issues, including my mental health, which isn't great. Okay, I have BPD, EUPD, PTSD, severe anxiety and depression, low self-esteem and no motivation, and have been waiting to get carers back after being in hospital. It's been 3 months and I'm still waiting, so take your pick, lol. And I've got complex trauma too. And lots of kisses. So yeah, that was, you know, we never actually Google what some of this stuff is before starting. We probably should. I have no idea what EUPD is.
I have heard it before, but I can't remember
If
what
anybody
it actually
knows
is.
what it is, please feel free to educate us.
Don't
Don't
worry.
Google it. Don't Google it.
I'm gonna. It's me. I can't not know. I won't say. People, we can have the conversation if you want.
It's fine. She's going to tell you for anybody else that doesn't know. But if you do know, prior to us saying this, feel free to put that in the comments because we're trying to increase our common interaction.
So what's coming up is, all right,
Wait, did you Google BPD?
EUPD, but it's coming up borderline personality disorder, but I think it goes hand in hand with BPD. I should know this.
Yeah, look.
Emotionally unstable disorder, yeah. So it kind of explains borderline personality disorder. So yeah, it goes hand in hand with BPD.
Okay.
That's why.
That makes sense.
That's why I've heard it before, and that's why. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so that is everything she's got going on. She's in her 50s and the mobility issues, you will see, you know, she has a stair lift, is that what it's called?
Yeah, she has a stair lift.
She has a stair lift to get about. And obviously she'll not be able to do all of the kind of deeper stuff that we get to, you know, cleaning the cupboard fronts and dusting all the knickknacks and all of that stuff. And I think, did you say the carers were coming in several times a day originally? Or did she not get into that?
I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that statement.
And she obviously does have like family and stuff around her, but that's not always enough support for people's complex needs, especially when you've got like a whole list of like conditions.
I think also, especially when you're like head of the family, you've got your children, your grandchildren, you don't want to then lean on them for support as well a lot of the time, you find.
Yeah, I think it's cute her mum's still looking out for her. Like even in her 50s, the mum's still like, my daughter needs help, you go and help it. Not quite like that. I don't know why I said it like that.
She wasn't that mean.
No. Yeah, so what you don't see on the camera is she had washing in the washing machine when we arrived, and once that finished, I transferred that to the dryer, and then folded and put away all the clothes that were on that side of the room. There's probably other stuff that I did in there that I don't even remember now. It's kind of late at night right now while we're doing this voiceover, and
Steph wasn't already feeling it.
Yeah,
she's
I'm
tired.
A bit socialised out. It's just, I feel like this week has been
a lot.
Yeah, quite a busy week. And
do you feel it's because we've done a clean through the week? Because I feel like I've had a really busy week, but I think it's just because we had that.
But then also I've had Kai home all week with chicken pox.
Yeah, that'll be what it is.
Because that's the thing, for anybody that doesn't watch my other channel, you guys won't know everything that I've had going on. So we did go live last week and explain some stuff. But yeah, Kai's been home with chicken pox all week. I've had like doctor's appointments. I went out for lunch today with a friend and it's just been a week. It's been busy.
You can't see it on the camera, but the table was a big difference. And so were these wee lanterns. They weren't so dusty after they came up all nice and shiny.
You can see it's like, look at that one that you're cleaning and then look at the one next to it. You can see the difference if you do that there. I missed the beginning of that, so I'm looking forward to you doing that one.
Yeah, you don't really see the difference of the table though.
So the thing with the camera is it's a blessing and a curse, okay? So the good thing is, when we don't clean it perfectly, you guys can't see that.
Yes, there is that.
The bad thing is, when it's quite dirty to begin with and we clean it and it comes up good, you guys don't see that. So, blessing and a curse. But yeah, I feel like you had a good system going on in this living room.
I just, you know what, so I picked the faraway corner and I was like, right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take everything away. So in my head, I was like, I'm going to do a half Mac, full on Mac clean. Do you know when he's like, right, so take everything out of the room, clean it all and put it all back?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, right, well, I can't take everything out, but I could take everything off, clean it all and try and put it back. So I done a kind of half Mac clean. That was what was going through my head at the time.
Are we making mechanisms now?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's because I don't know what I must have watched like the night before or a couple of nights before, and I was watching his video where him and Jason take everything out of the room and they put it all back, and he was saying that a woman contacted her and he's like her son, she says, do you want to do like a half mat clean or a full mat clean? And she was talking about like how she gets her son to tidy his room.
Yeah.
So I think that was just in my head when I was doing this living room.
That makes sense.
Mm.
And for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, I mean, the majority of you have come from his channel, but we're talking about Mac over at Midwest Magic Cleaning.
So if you're not from his channel, go and join him.
Yeah, check him out. And just while we're throwing out recommendations, go and check out Feral Tradwife as well. Do you know, it was funny, we got a trolled on our channel, and if you're watching this, I quite enjoyed our little conversation. It was quite funny. So basically they said that we talk too much, right? Which is not an uncommon comment that we get.
do.
But I replied in a nice way saying, well, feel free to mute us. We know the talking isn't for everyone. And there are several cleaning channels, if we all do things a little bit differently, here are the other free cleaning channels. And they it was quite a long response, I'm not going to lie. And they basically responded saying I have diarrhea of the mouth. And but the second comment was like quite rude, I thought. Anyway, and they said that my comment was really long and that they have a family member with a successful YouTube channel and they don't need my recommendations, which I was just recommending other free cleaning channels. Anyway, so I just replied with emojis. And I hope they understood what the emojis were saying. But anyway, and then they just responded with an acronym. Is it an acronym when it's just the first? No, it's not. What?
You're asking me. I literally just told you I hated English and I'm dyslexic.
Okay, well, you do realise when I'm talking to you, I'm kind of talking to the audience too. Okay, does anybody know what it is when it's the first letter of the word in a row? It's not acronym because that's when the word's all jumbled up.
Wait, I actually know this. It's because alliteration.
No. So alliteration is if you were saying Ali alligator ate apples.
Oh, I thought that's what you were meaning.
No, so that's when the first word...
The first letter of each word is the same.
Is the same, but this isn't when they're the same. It's when like IDFG, IDFAG. I don't give a...
Okay.
Oh no, wait, I've mixed that up.
F and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
But do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like text speak, or I should have used the example WTF because that's way simpler. I don't know why I did it the other one. That's the mood, guys.
And what's it called? A cinnamon? Cinnamon?
No, that's what I'm asking. What's the need?
Oh, right, okay.
A cinnamon. I can't say it. I know what you're...
Cinnamon.
Is it synonym?
Synonym. Synonym.
A synonym.
I feel like Nemo.
Another... That's when it's another word for the same word, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay.
Like when you look up it in a thesaurus. I can't speak. We can't speak today. Also, if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Yeah, if there's any English teachers on there, go and help us out because clearly we're not that educated.
We definitely shouldn't be preaching English, that's for sure. Oh, my feet are sweaty.
So, this was the fun part for me. Cleaning it all and trying to remember where to put it all back. And I think I only changed like a couple of things.
I'm just trying to figure out how am I going to blur out all of these pictures.
I know.
You're going to be cut off. I might just have to cover this bit up with like a big giant square in the middle of the screen.
Or just like here and then here.
There's loads. Oh, making my life difficult.
There's some on the other side as well. I was thinking like, should I take all the photos away and then film. And now in like hindsight, I probably should have done that.
We might do that next time.
Yeah.
She just hates me.
Do you know what? It's a learning curve though.
Mm-hmm.
So next time I'll know, do you know what? Let's take all the photos away, clean everything, clean the frames, and then put them back after once the camera's gone.
Yeah. Do you know, that's one of the things that I quite like about doing this is it is a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just a learning curve in terms of what we're doing. Even like our conversations, we're like, oh, what's that word? And what does that mean? And what is that condition?
I know.
The whole journey.
I feel like I've got
It's
so
a
much
learning curve.
more clever. See? I used the word cleverer earlier, and I'm like, cleverer isn't even a word either.
I
So,
feel like at this point it is a word. I use that as a
it's
word.
more clever.
Yeah.
I said it right. I'm more clever.
Good job.
Yeah.
You are more clever now.
Mm-hmm.
That was because my daughter, who's only 4, asked Danielle, like she was playing doctors, and Danielle was saying, "Oh, I'm not feeling well. I'm sick," and she was like, "Are you feeling nauseous?"
I was like, did you just say nauseous? I'm like, that's a big word for your age. I didn't think I knew what nauseous meant till I was about 12.
Do you know, it's probably because that's what I'm like all the time. I'm like,
So
oh,
nauseous.
feels nauseous. Because I use big
I
obnoxious
was like, you're
words around my
cleverer than
friends.
me. And I was like, cleverer is not even a word.
So, what is your reasoning for sweeping all this up on your hands and knees?
I was on my knees and I kept feeling it all.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, do you know what? So, I don't know if you've noticed, but like I kind of done under that wee table I was starting with and under like the wee toys and stuff. And I sweeped it, I've wiped the floor and then I've put it back.
So you don't need to move it when you're mopping.
Yeah, and I did the same with like the wee toy box that looks like a bench. I moved that out, swept all underneath it, and then wiped it all down and put it back. So it was more about trying to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
So, and I just kept sweeping as I was going.
And you didn't like this Hoover?
No, do you know what? That's probably my least favourite part. Was the Hoover suction was not great at all.
See, it looks like it picks up well.
Yeah.
Another deceitful camera
It
moment.
looks like it does, but then see when it was alright using like the hose, but see when I got to actually hoovering the floor, like it was just moving a lot of the big stuff. So I kind of just moved a lot of the big stuff as I was hoovering, and then went back with a dustpan and brush and sweeped it up because I was like, nope, I'm not fighting with this anymore. So if you can see, I moved that wee glass thing off the edge there. And it was like a kind of Buddha in a glass.
Snow globe style thing?
Yeah, but it had like an open front bit. So when I went to go and pick it up, I've put my fingers inside it to kind of hold on to the glass and lift it up, and it just smashed.
Do we see it happen on camera?
No.
I was going to say, I don't actually...
It was off camera.
Right, okay. You've
But-
really seen the dust come off of that thing that you just dusted.
But now you can see there's not one on the other side and it's not symmetrical.
Why did you not put it in the middle?
I never even thought.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes me sad now.
We should maybe just try and get her one to replace it anyway, even though she said not to.
I was thinking I've seen them in B&M's.
Okay, yeah. Let's
It
just
does
do
kind of
that.
look like that's where it would be from.
We need to go back there anyway because we always leave stuff in everybody's house.
And we need to go to B&M's because we are out of Scrub Daddy Power Paste.
Yep. We don't even use it that often. I don't understand how we're out of it.
I use it quite a lot.
Do you? I don't use it that often. I find 1 or 2 cleaners that I like, and then I kind of just use them. I'm more about the tools rather than the product, I think. Like, I really like the scrubby brushes. Do you know what I'm finding is we have a lot of Scrub Daddies now because you guys are so generous and have bought them all off of our wish list for us. But a lot of the houses we go in now have no hot water. It's so frustrating because then
really
it's hard to
difficult.
use them. So we have to use normal sponges as well. There's quite a few houses now that we've like had no hot water. And I
don't know how people live without hot water.
Yeah, I think it's because they have electric showers.
But even then, like, I could not do my dishes without hot water.
Yeah.
Like, so I know a lot of them will boil the kettle and stuff, but I like to have like running hot water to like rinse them off before I clean them, and like, yeah, just like have running flowing water when I'm doing my dishes.
Yeah.
It's probably very wasteful, to be honest.
It is. We get we get those comments.
Well, I mean, I've got a basin though, so it runs into the
Okay. That doesn't make sense. Then you're running dirty water into your basin.
Yeah, it's dirty water anyway. It's washing the dishes.
You made me forget what I was going to say.
Hot water.
Oh, yeah.
Scrub daddies.
When we first, just in terms of the learning curve and the hot water and stuff, when we first started doing this, do you remember we used to say to people, it would be preferable if you had hot water and a working Hoover. And it's like, that just shows how entitled we are.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
We've came a long way.
Yeah, we have. That's no longer, obviously.
Right.
I mean, it was never a requirement. It was preferable, but still.
Now look at the pictures on this one. Look, that's when I found the book. Sorry, I got excited there.
Oh no, is it in slow motion or does it just... Do you know what? I'm just thinking, does it just feel
That
slow
might have been me.
motion? Or when you were
Editing.
re-editing?
No, when I edited first, I forgot to tell you I put that bit in slow-mo. I put it in slow-mo so you could actually see it. I don't know if you can see it
do
that
you know-
much.
But then I've slowed it down. I slowed it down and you've already slowed it. So this
So
has
it's
been slowed down twice.
Slow.
Well, hopefully you can read some
But
of
yeah,
it.
I don't know if it focuses that well, but hopefully you can manage. Maybe you could try and pause and read some of it.
Yeah, have at it, guys. I hope I don't get a copyright strike for this.
I'm trying to read Matt. I need stronger glasses. I can't read that.
I mean, most people will be watching
Your
this
other Uncle
on a bigger
Jimmy, he
screen.
asks, what other Uncle Jimmy have you got? Yeah, have you got? Yeah, that's about as much as I'm
Do you know
going to
when
read because
we
it's hurting my eyes.
We were looking at what we could cut out of this video to make it slightly shorter. We could have cut out this part because you already read it out to them.
I don't even think it was this page I read out though.
Mm-hmm.
How long does this go
I
on?
don't know. Like I say, it's been double slowed down.
Oh, it's coming at the end, guys.
Moving on.
That was a cigar cutter, I think.
A what?
A cigar cutter.
Okay.
So, like, it had two circles in it, and either end you could push in, and it kind of had a sharp thing that, see, if you were to put your finger through it, it would probably cut your finger off.
Wait,
And I was
why
like-
do you cut a cigar?
So you cut the end off a cigar.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I think you're right. I think I've seen that
I think I've seen...
in a movie.
Oh, well, I think I've seen people do it.
In real life?
In real life.
I was going to say, I don't know anybody who smokes cigars, but actually, in my old job, there was a young boy, he must have only been about 21. He's one of my favourite people there, though. He was so flamboyant. Like, he was neurodivergent, and he was just, everything was, like, exaggerated with his arms, and it was just so fun to be around. And he used to go to, I think, Turkey, and he would just come back with loads of cigars. And he didn't even smoke normally. He only smoked cigars.
But cigars you don't inhale.
Ah, okay. But you know what I liked about it, though? It wasn't even so much that he had cigars. It was that he created a whole man cave where he had, like, a robe
So
and,
it's
like, the proper,
old
like,
money.
Chesterfield chair or whatever it's called. And, like, the drinks cabinet that was like an atlas, like all of it.
Was it like
I never seen it
globe?
personally.
Oh.
He was just telling me about getting it. And
I'm
like,
pretty sure my mum had a drinks cabinet that was like a globe. It was like a big wooden globe thing, and it opened up. It was so cool.
Like on
I've
Still
always
Game.
wanted...
Have you seen that episode with Pete?
Probably, but I can't visualise it now.
So if anybody watches Still Game or doesn't watch Still Game, there was an alcoholic character. Have you dropped something? Lost something?
Oh, it was behind my leg.
All right, okay.
I'm like, where did I put my juice?
In Still Game, which is a Scottish comedy show, by the way. Sitcom, is that what it's
I
called?
think so, yeah.
Okay, a sitcom. There's a character in it called Pete the Alky or something like that. He was an alcoholic who lived on the streets, and there was a whole episode where it turned out he had created like a popular pastry from when he worked at the baker's years ago, but he'd created it at home, and basically he sued because this company made millions off of this pastry. So he sued them, and he was sober at this time, and then the guy tricked him halfway through the court case and made him drink. So then instead of getting the millions that he was due, all he got was this drinks cabinet, this globe drinks cabinet. That episode really hurt my heart.
Oh.
Yeah. And then he dies in like the next episode. Spoilers, guys. Sorry. But yeah, he dies not long after that. He probably drank himself to death.
Poor Pete that, okay.
Yeah. But back to my friend, I never seen his man cave, but I was living for that vision. It was so cool. I helped him shop for chairs online.
Of course you did.
Why not? It was fun. I got to be a part of it. When we asked this lady what her priority areas were, this trolley was one of them.
Yeah.
Which is so cute that it's just like this one little tiny
She
thing.
was like, I want my paperwork on the bottom of that trolley, and then the other stuff. I just kind of tried to organise it to like stuff. So on that footrest, it was obviously stuff she used a lot. So there was like colouring in books. Do you mean like just stuff she obviously sits and does? So I kind of put that on the top, and then everything else kind of went to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like our remotes for our TV and stuff like that all went on the top of that.
That makes sense. So I did the kitchen, Danielle does the living room, Danielle then does the hallway, the stairs, and the downstairs entryway. And then we go into the spare room together, which you guys will see has been a little bit of a disaster area for clothing. It's just kind of been all getting chucked in there and became too overwhelming for this lady to sort herself, or for her to even, like, I think like grandchildren and stuff had stayed over, but it was too overwhelming for them to even go through. So we kind of had left that till the end. It was more of a, if we get to that, we get to that, because we were more focusing on her living areas, which was what she asked us to do. But then what I've done is we don't get that whole room done. We get the middle of that room done, because I think my shoulder was just done in by that point. Your back was starting to twinge. Yeah. So we said, okay, that's all we can manage for today. I mean, it was about 7 p.m. by that point anyway, because we had arrived at this house in the afternoon rather than in the morning, with it being a cancellation clean. We had to arrange it last minute. So anyway, so what I've done for that footage is have sped it up quite a lot, because the before and after transformation is not that satisfying, and we're literally just checking the labels of clothing. And then, because she had a system, she wanted like one size of clothing put together and then another size of clothing put together, because they were getting given to 2 other people, and then the third size of clothing was to get donated, and then the rest was to get kept. So we were just checking the sizing, and do you know how difficult it was? Because
it wasn't all numbers. It was like X2XL and stuff like that as well. It was really,
and we were trying to figure out, okay,
what is XL?
I'm a like size 14ish, and normally I wear like a L, so that means that this size must be this letters, and oh my god, we should have just googled it.
Yeah.
In hindsight, we should have just googled it. But yeah, so trying to figure all that out. But anyway, so yeah, so it's only the last few minutes of the video that is that room, because it's sped up to like 10 times speed. All of that was to say that.
So if you have got to the end of this and you're still here, thanks for watching. If you like this content and you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. It is completely free. If you would like to support us going further, and you are able to, of course, we do have 3 different tiers of memberships, starting at 99p, which is hashtag Team Fife.
No. You were so close. Haggis Hunters.
Then $1.99 at hashtag Team Fife. No honorary Fifers. And then at $2.99. Is it $2.99?
Yeah.
Yep. Hashtag Team Fife. Do you know what? One day I will get it right. I had the confidence.
You did so well.
I had the confidence.
I heard that confidence.
Obviously, only join our memberships if you are financially able to do so. We don't really give out much content, so we're sorry for that. Right now it is just entirely to support the cause and help us continue to sustainably give people free cleans.
Yep.
We also have a buy me a coffee donation link,
which doesn't go on coffee, guys. It actually all goes back to doing the free cleans.
And everything, as it's been stated before, we don't actually take any money for this. Any money we do get goes entirely back into providing this service and supplying everything that we need for it.
And because we are completely transparent, at the time that changes and we do start profiting from this, we will let you guys know. Yeah. that's one of the things that we always have tried to do, is be honest and transparent and be like, okay, so this is what your money is kind of doing. So when we say, you know, it all goes back into the free cleans, it covers things like materials, rubbish removals, insurance, our office, which people might think is not worth it, especially because we still haven't, like, we don't work out of the office, but it is also our storage.
So much stuff for us to be able to, like, keep extra bedding and cleaning supplies and all that. If we were to keep it at home, our homes would be overflowing with stuff, and they already are overflowing, so we don't need that.
Yeah. But yeah, you did really well to throw that.
One day I will get it correct, and I'll have the confidence, and it'll be backed up by facts.
Yep. We also don't actually need to push the membership levels every single video.
Do you know what? I'm just trying to get it right. If I don't do it every video, I'm going to forget.
The day she gets it right will be the day we stop pushing it every video, guys. Yeah. So bear with us.
You never know when that's going to be.
Also, I would be very surprised if, like, I don't know how many people actually make it this far in the video. We need to start doing that earlier in the video.
Okay. So next time, guys, I'm going to do it at the start, and I'm going to do it right.
I think you did so well. Like, we really felt it, yeah. So yeah, moving into this room. I've kind of already explained everything about this room.
What was your least favourite part about this room?
I don't know.
Trying to work out the sizes.
Oh yeah, probably.
Do you know, I know now why my back was twinging.
Why?
See, when I got to the bottom of the stairs that I've just done before, guys.
Oh, I remember now.
Was trying to sort out, like, to the left, you can't see it on camera, but to the left I was trying to sort out, like, some stuff she had there. She had, like, a Zimmer frame and, like, some other stuff, but she also had, like, a mobility scooter that the front wheels were off and the seat for it was off. So I was trying to, like, put it so it looked a bit more neater, and my God, if anybody's got a mobility scooter, you will know what I'm on about. They are heavy.
And the woman shouted down to you, don't bother moving that, it's really heavy. And you were like, too
done
late.
It already.
Too late.
But I think that's probably why I started to get a twinge in my back.
Well, then all my sympathy for you is gone.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's not. Do you know, I've just realised what I actually hated about this room, and it wasn't even to do with the room or the stuff in it. It was, my brain was kind of foggy by this point. I think I'd maybe just taken more pain relief or something, because I kept looking at the sizes and then immediately forgetting what size it was. And then I had to look again, so it kind of wasted time. But yeah, that was probably my least favourite part. Do you know what? We didn't finish. That's what my least favourite thing was, that we didn't get it finished. But we cleared a big walkway, and we told her, you know, this bag's this, and this is this, and this is this. And so she kind of knows. We also, in our last video, which was a whole house clean, the lady came and chatted to us at this point. That's why there's a big block on the screen. In our last video, which was the whole house clean for a struggling mum, we got a lot of comments asking what happened to the laundry. So I just thought I'd address that quickly. What we do is we bag up laundry. We don't take it away. We don't wash it. We don't have the time, the resources, the ability to go and wash all of this washing. And I know, you know, that these people are, that those clothes are probably never going to come out of those bags, but we do what we can do, and that is not within what we can do right now.
Hopefully what we do is enough to make them go, right, okay, I can tackle one bag at a time.
Which is what happened in that situation. Yeah. So in last week's video, we bagged up all those clothes at the request of that mum. And so when you see the after photos, we do try and make sure the everything, like the bags and stuff, are in after photos. So some of the bags that were in the living room on the right hand side were for rubbish, and then the ones on the left hand side were clothing, and then the bags on the upstairs landing were for clothing. If you've seen the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the video, go and check it out. It's on our page. I would say I'll link it, but I won't, because I'll forget by tomorrow when I do the rest of the editing of this. But yeah, are we at the end?
Pretty much. It's 56 minutes.
Yep,
long.
Here's the after photos. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.